It's George, and I'm back again. And if my findings are correct, I'm glad that I'm not an expert, because I would have spent all that money on an incomplete education. A person doesn't realize being an expert in bits and pieces and fragments of what is left over from a meteor, you lose out on so much. New undiscovered minerals and metals are lost when the meteor breaks up. What I find totally great about the experts, oh, we know this, we know that, it's this and that, this and that. There's nothing more entertaining than sending a picture of part of a rock that NASA brought back from the moon to an expert, and they tell me the same thing. It's a regular Earth rock and this and that. And then you show them the photo of the whole rock. But yet they weren't able to identify it, but they were an expert. No names. I'm not mentioning who I sent it to. But what I'm saying is people can't identify a space rock. Okay, now if there's a problem there, then the problem needs to be addressed. People need to learn how. Enough of that. Now let's get to the rocks. I spent about 2 weeks putting this together because I got to keep coming up. I got to keep coming up with more and more and more and more and more, because some people are believing and some people don't, and not as many people are making negative comments anymore like they were. But I think people are going to get the point that I'm trying to get across after a while. And like I said, you've got to watch all the videos to understand and be able to put all this together. But what I'm going to show you is what I came up with in just 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And that's it. I didn't have to go to Antarctica. I didn't have to go to the Sahara Desert. And this is what I'm trying to tell people. Now, you can believe it or not. Like I said, I would assume that I would just really appreciate it if someone can prove me wrong. But I think that some people out there are afraid to prove me wrong, because then they'd have to go back and they'd have to get re-educated. We're going to go to all the magnetic rocks. Okay? People want to see magnetic. Okay? They want to see magnetic. Okay? You hang the magnet there, and it sucks right over to the thing. Okay? I can sit here and I can play with a magnet all day long. But it's boring. It's boring when I know the magnet's going to stick to them. And nobody wants to sit there and watch people sit there and play with a magnet on a rock all day. These are all magnetic, but they're bizarre and weird. Okay? This one burned really bad. And there's a kind of a unique color. But this one's not soft. This one's kind of rough. But like a weird ass purplish color, I'm not sure. And we'll go over here to the big ones. Here, look at this big one here. That's rusted. Completely solid on the outside. The whole rock. It's rusted. But except right here, you can see where it's green. Okay, what green metal rusts? But this is a rock, but it's all rusty. And here's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Rock. This rock right here was blue when I pulled it out. I cleaned it up, let it dry, and it's white. White, and it's got all these lines in it. And the texture of it feels like you're picking up a marshmallow. These aren't smooth, but they're bizarre. And like I said, half this stuff, I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what this is. Then there's this big one over here. I can only imagine where this stuff came from. Now that's like some kind of a off blue. But if I'm correct, and this fell from the sky, all these cracks and this damage is impact from hitting the ground. But what's really bizarre about it is you take a look up here. You take a look at these lines that are in the rock. Okay, they were burned into the rock. But it's a bizarre one. And these things are extremely heavy. These big rocks that I have are extremely heavy. Now, we come down here to all these little weird fragments like this. Yeah, I know, but basalt and dialite. Yeah, this is all basalt. Oh yeah, this is basalt. And oh yeah, there's some more basalt. Like I said, I don't think people understand. It's bizarre and it's weird. And these pillar rocks. I'm not even sure what they are. Green. This thing's solid metal. But they're down there. They're supposed to be rocks. But they're bizarre and they're weird. And when you pick them up, this one's got a bunch of different red in it. These little fragments. They're rusty. But you can hear that. Okay, that's not rock. That's metal. Now, why are you getting all these little pieces of metal fragments? Okay? And this is what people don't understand, what I go through. I go through this every time I go looking out there. There's a kind of a pinkish, whitish one. But you ought to be able to tell what this is. But the bizarre colors and the textures and everything of the rocks and everything that's in them. Now we'll go to the water on some of these. This is what it looks like. That's what it looks like when I pick it up out of the water. It just looks bizarre and unique, the colors on it. And some of this stuff I'm not sure I can locate anywhere. Then I picked up this one. This one was weird. All that red. That's red and it's not paint. I've cleaned these rocks. Again and again and again and again and again. And I cannot get that red to come off, whatever that red is. This one was a real unique one. Because of the color inside, if you look at the color. It's like a greenish black. But this one's highly magnetic. And it's got a little bit of rust on the outside of it. But when you see that in the creek and you pick it up, it looks like, oh, looks great and everything. Now here's another one. This is something that has real old fusion crust on it. And I picked this up out of the creek, okay? Now look at it. Look at how black and shiny the fusion crust is on it. I'm being serious about this. Okay? Some rocks you can't see it on it because they didn't get hot. They didn't burn. Some rocks burned partially. This one burned quite a bit. But you look at that. That is fusion crust. It's black and that's what it looks like. It was preserved because it was in the creek. And the air wasn't able to get to it. Then we'll do this one. That's a kind of weird bluish green stone. And, but what is it? What is it? Is this diamond? I don't know. First of all, before I end my video with probably the most fascinating 3 rocks that I have, I'd like to thank everybody that, people that are believing, people that subscribe and want to actually learn something. Like I said, I think people are just trying to snuff me out because they're afraid that I'm going to be right. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with it at all. Like I said, people can listen. They don't have to listen. You can watch. You don't have to watch. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. I'm just reporting my findings. And I'm going to keep reporting them because they keep getting more bizarre and bizarre and bizarre. And I haven't had anybody challenge me. And I haven't had anybody explain what a lot of this stuff is that I'm showing them. But we're going to go to the 3 rock show that I got for you now. First of all, we have what is the rock of poo. I have to come up with something. I have to come up with these names or whatever because nobody wants to help me with them. Okay, and I think it's the rock of poo because I think that's where its little butthole is, but I'm not sure. But anyways, this is a bizarre one, but this is solid metal. But it's supposed to be a rock. And here, another one of my favorites. We have this blue. This is the rock of jizz. And the reason why I call it the rock of jizz is because it has all this white stuff on it. All this white stuff throughout the rock. Okay? I don't know what it is. I don't know. The planet might make jizz rock, for all I know. Jizz and poo. Now, I have an idea why I think the caveman became extinct because here we have the boner rock. And I know for all I know, back then women might have used this. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. It could be a sex toy. It looks really bizarre. But this thing is solid metal too. But it looks like a boner. Nobody wants to take me seriously on any of this stuff. So I guess it's okay to be a little bit stupid. But there has to be an answer for this. And like I said, if this isn't meteorites and it's not space debris, this is one of the greatest geological finds I've ever seen. I don't know of a mountain that makes penises or anything else. I mean, I never seen anything like any of this stuff. Never. Anyways, I don't want to go on forever. I don't want to bore people. And I'm not trying to make fun of everything. But I guess if I have to change things up a little bit to try and get somebody's attention, I guess that's what you got to do. I guess if I got to be stupid, I got to be stupid. Oh, people want me to be like Carl on Sling Blade, I can do that too, I don't know if this is a meteorite or not, it could be a meteorite, I don't know. But what do I do? Until somebody actually wants to step up, look at some of this stuff, and maybe, hey, just maybe there's a possibility. Because I'm telling you, if my findings are right, then nobody completed their education. And that is sad. Anyways, I'm out until I can come up with some more weird looking stuff. But like I said, it's bizarre. It's beyond me. And that's all I have to say.